Hello, and welcome to our Student Support Services Working Group Campus Briefing. Today, September 23rd, 2021. We are excited in welcoming our students, staff, and faculty back to the campus of UCR. We have a few presentations today just to talk about our student services and to ensure that our students, their health and well-being are at the forefront of our campus return. So I'll ask that we take it to the next slide. So again, just a brief introduction here of our agenda. We will address some student questions and concerns that have arisen so far. We're going to lead into student health and well-being, hear from one of our staff members from Student Health Services. We have a member from Financial Aid who will also speak to us a little bit about HOS. Housing and residential life will kind of fill us in regards to the recent move-in and just some upcoming activities. And then, of course, our Student Recreation Center and Athletics, talking about some gaming and other opportunities upcoming for our students. And then, of course, our international students, having some updates around their arrivals and what you all can expect. And then, of course, at the end, we will touch base on some contact information and additional emails in case there are additional questions or concerns. Next slide, please. Just to give us a little rundown of our panelists for today, we do have Jose Aguilar, Director of Financial Aid, Dr. Christine Bender, Director of Residential Life, Bob Brumbar, our Senior Director of Housing Services, Dr. Lindy Phoenix, our Director of Student Recreation Center, myself, Genesis Gonzalez, Communications Manager for the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Wes Millett, Interim Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, William Rahl, Senior Administrative Director of Student Health Services, and Michael Schmelzel, which I'm so sorry, Michael, if I messed that up, Director of International Students and Scholars. Next slide, please. Oh, we'll go back one more slide. Sorry about that. So now I'm going to go into student health and well-being, and we'll introduce William Rahl to provide us an update in regards to student health services. And there's no slides on this one.
Hello, everyone. So just a quick update on what's going on with student health services. So one of the high level updates is that we're offering right now a flu clinic for anyone who needs to get a flu shot. Again, student health is the provider, primary care provider for any of our students who have the USHIP, GSHIP insurance. That comes through the UCOP Anthem Blue Cross program. So flu clinic is going to be open it's now to October 14th. It's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then once we go into the middle of October, October 19th to the 18th, it's still going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it's going to be 9 a.m. to 11:30, as well as 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Another benefit for those who have the USHIP, GSHIP insurance, we're part of a pilot program at the UC, at the University of California, and it's a non-emergency medical transportation pilot program, meaning that if you have appointments off campus, you can call the Student Health Services and we will work it out where you get a lift to get you from your res hall, your on-campus housing, or wherever you may be, to wherever your appointment is at that time. More information can be found on the studenthealth.ucr.edu website under non-emergency medical transportation. Another update, just in terms of COVID, we're offering, I think many of you may know, we're offering a COVID vaccine clinic. It's every Friday from 1 to 3:30 p.m. And it's right here at Student Health Services, adjacent lot 15. Another thing that we're offering beginning this upcoming Monday, September 27th, is a COVID student testing. This could be at the Barricade, which is the conference room below Pentland Hills. It's at the Pentland Hills location for housing. So that will start September 27th, and we'll be offering what we call spit and go saliva testing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m., 1 to 3:30 p.m. On Wednesdays, we have extended hours from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and then we open back up from 3 to 6 p.m. And then Friday, we have an 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Then we break for lunch, and then 1 to 2. So you can find that under student health, studenthealth.ucr.edu under the COVID-19 button for that. And then also just a reminder that anytime students, and this goes for employees as well, anytime we come to campus, we have to take the daily wellness survey. And this does include students who actually live on campus. So we must complete that daily, the daily wellness survey. And then last but not least, just to make you feel and us feel safe in this pandemic, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Some things that we took action on. We provide telehealth visits for students who don't feel comfortable coming into the clinic to get seen, if you will. We're again doing screenings. Not only do we check the daily wellness survey, but we also do temperature screenings. And then we also screen for symptoms before coming to the Student Health Services Center. And then also we're reminding folks to please make sure you have your face covering made of tightly woven fabric or non-woven materials of 2 or 3 layers. So then also in between patients, we're wiping down using CDC infection prevention guidelines to make sure that we're good in that way. And so that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, William. So again, I know you touched on some high-level points here in regards to our campus return and our health and safety well-being. Again, for all of our students or those staff and faculty that are watching today, we will provide some additional information later on in this recording. And again, we do encourage all of our students and everyone to continue to reach out to Student Health Services with any questions or concerns. And like we said, COVID vaccine clinics are still available for students who do need a vaccination. And again, for students who are inquiring about masks or hand sanitizers or other protective equipment, please notify us again at VCSA or even the Well or any of the other centers. I know today is the first day of instruction. You may have been walking around campus and noticed some informational tables. So again, these things are available for students. So again, please inquire with any one of our departments or of course, Student Health Services. And as William said, we're going to continue to urge and encourage all of our students every day, please submit that daily wellness check. Very, very important. So now we're going to turn it over to Jose Aguilar, Director of Financial Aid.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be here with you this afternoon. Today, I'm going to talk about 2 areas, actually. One, I specifically oversee financial aid office, a part of the one-stop shop, the Highlander One-Stop Shop, which we also know it as HOS. Financial aid is part of that process. So I'm going to talk about the HOS services that we have available now that we're on campus. And so the HOS services that we provide is undergraduate admissions office, any questions related to the registrar's office, or any questions related to student business services, and then also financial aid. And also located on the first floor is cashier. So if you need to make any payments, you can come visit the cashier's office too as well. We do have a website for our HOT services that will also have the services that they provide, as well as the timeframes that are available. And that can be found at enrollmentservices.ucr.edu/return-campus. I will also post that on the chat so you can have that available. As far as the financial aid office, we're pretty much back to normal services. We're just in a hybrid schedule right now. Half the staff are coming in and the other half are working remotely, trying to get all the work done. I know it's been a busy time, and I do want to take the time and thank you for your patience during this really, really busy time for the financial aid office, and not only the office, but also for the university. We are providing in-person services, and that's, again, as I mentioned, through the Highlander One-Stop Shop. The HOS did move into a schedule and appointment process, and you should see that available on the by the doors. You can scan using your phone, scan the information, and then you will be presented with a way to schedule that appointment. If you happen to stop by, we'll try to fit you in, but at this point, we do ask that you try to schedule those appointments. Obviously, we're also available by telephone at 951-827-3878. That is our main line. We do have staff answering the phones, although it may be long waiting times, but I will try to get to those phone calls as much as possible. And then finally, by email, we're trying to catch up on our email too as well at finaid@ucr.edu. And obviously, our website is always available for where we can present up-to-date information. And those are the services that we are offering through the financial aid office as well as the HOS services.
Thank you, Jose. So again, great information. So again, for students that are inquiring about the phone numbers, contact information that we are providing today on this recording, please know it is being recorded. We will share all of those links and contact information afterwards as well for our students. So again, please don't worry, we will provide additional contact information. And just like Jose said, again, we ask that all students coming onto campus and of course coming into our buildings and departments that again, submit that daily wellness check. Now we're gonna move on to Bob Brumbar in housing. And next slide, please.
Hi, everyone. I will start by just confirming for everyone that campus housing is fully open this fall. And that means in all of its styles of housing, residence halls, campus apartments, and family housing. And even in all of our occupancy levels, single, double, and even triple occupancy spaces. Safety is one of housing's core values, and safety has been prioritized in all of our planning for fall. So starting with move-in this past week, we had expanded our typical 3-day move-in to a 5-day event. And that was to help us create some distancing between students as they're moving around the communities, and also to accommodate testing capacities that we were going to require as part of move-in. All 7,000 new students that moved in over these 5 days in the past week were 100% compliant with the campus's vaccine policy. All 7,000 plus students submitted a negative COVID-19 pre-arrival test. And they also submitted a on-site COVID, or received an on-site COVID-19 test as part of their check-in process. So part of our check-in happened with our partners, Student Health, and they were in the Lot 30 parking lot with us, and all students stopped in their area to receive their test. Following check-in, all students also were provided with a personal reusable mask. They all have a personal sanitizer, bottle sanitizer. And then the unvaccinated students who moved in, and that includes all students who are exempted, have waivers or deferrals in regard to vaccines, were required to do a 7-day sequester with us. So they're trying to avoid all but the most essential activities for the next 7 days after their move-in. The other thing that's happening for students following move-in is that Student Health has set up a satellite lab in our Pentland Hills Residence Hall community, and they will be providing surveillance testing once a week for all unvaccinated residents. And then they will also be providing surveillance testing once a month for all of our vaccinated residents. If a student should fall ill while they're in residence, we have also reserved quarantine and isolation spaces in our community, and all basic needs are provided if a student should need to be quarantined or placed in an isolation space in order to protect the rest of the community and give them a chance to get well. So that is pretty much my update for fall.
Thank you, Bob. And again, thank you to all of our staff and student volunteers, everyone that worked over that 5-day event period for move-in. Heard it was very, very successful, and we are just absolutely excited to welcome our students back to campus. So thank you. And now to Dr. Christine Bender from Residential Life.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Have some quick updates on you all in regards to residential life. We are looking to provide as close as possible to the traditional experience that our students would receive while living on campus with us. That being said, we are doing a lot of programs in person. So we're looking to get students out of their rooms, engaging with one another, and kind of having a good time getting to know individuals that live with them. We started Welcome Week this past Monday, had several different events. We had a petting zoo, some dogs on campus, a magician. We did the Our Side rally, some very traditional events that we're used to seeing. Some of our larger events, we're seeing over 400 people. For some people might be concerning, but please note that we are requiring masks regardless of vaccination status at all events. And even if it's indoors or outdoors, you're required to wear a mask. You're also required to show the wellness survey that you are cleared to be on campus. So we're taking different safety precautions in that regard. We have hand sanitizer. We do have extra disposable masks in case you forget one. And then also we're limiting, for example, with some of the petting zoo pieces, we only let so many students in at one time, and we gave them like a time limit and then we'd rotate through. So we are putting in several safety measures to ensure that takes place. We will be providing some programs remotely, but for the most part, they will just be in person, as we're looking to do that. And then as Bob noted with the quarantine and isolation spaces, residential life is kind of the front line to being in communication with you in regards to how are you doing? What are you, do you need anything? Do you need us to connect you with anybody? So we do a lot of those pieces as well to ensure that students that do end up in a quarantine or isolation space feel supported and not isolated, even though it's called isolation. So just kind of keeping those pieces in mind. Very quick, fast update for everybody.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bender. Great information. So moving from our housing and res life to our student recreation center. So we'll go to Dr. Lindy Phoenix.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being a part of this presentation. I'm delighted to announce that we are back to full operations at the Student Recreation Center. Maybe it'd be good to give a brief overview of all the facilities that we offer. So we've got about 150,000 square foot of sport and recreation facilities, including a 22,000 square foot fitness center, 237,000 gallon swimming pool, 4 multi-sport courts, racquetball and squash courts, 5 multi-purpose rooms, 8 tennis courts. We offer ping pong and lots of other activities. As I said, we're back to full operations now, and that means for the fall quarter, we've expanded our hours. Currently, our hours are Monday through Thursday, 6:30 a.m. to 11 p.m., Fridays, 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I know that safety and health and well-being is foremost in everybody's top of mind awareness. So I want to talk a little bit about the procedures that we've implemented to keep our students safe. Firstly, per UC policy, we require masks when you're indoors, anywhere within our facilities. Number 2, we have physically spaced out all of our exercise equipment, so there's a minimum of 6 feet between users. One of the ways that we did this was that we annexed one of our gymnasium spaces, about 8,500 square feet. This gave us a great deal of additional space where we could keep the distances between equipment at least 6 feet, sometimes more. Cleaning procedures are very important. So our housekeeping staff abides by and follows the CDC and Cal OSHA guidelines for cleaning. In addition to that, we more than tripled the number of the disinfectant wipe stations that we keep in the building. We've put them all around the equipment in strategic locations, so you're never far away from one. I've been delighted to see that our students are wiping down the equipment before and after they use it. We have staff in the building as well that follow around and make sure that we wipe down the equipment numerous times every day. We've installed plexiglass shields at all of our counter spaces where face-to-face transactions occur, very similar to what you see at the grocery stores and other retail establishments. Maybe one of the most important things that we've done as well is that we have changed our access control system that lets you through our turnstiles. Previously, we used a biometric hand scan. So you had to physically place your hand on a device and it would scan the back of your hand and let you in. We've changed that now. So we have an app-based system that runs on your mobile device. And we have a UCR SRC app that's downloadable from the App Store. It's both available in iPhone, iOS, and Android operating systems. So you simply download the app from the App Store, log in using your UCR Net ID, and the app generates a barcode, which you simply scan at a new device attached to the turnstile, and it opens the turnstile for you without you ever having to touch it. So these are sort of the high-level views of the things that we've done. I'm delighted to say that we've got lots of students coming to the Student Recreation Center this week. Everybody is abiding by the mask policy. The vibe is very, very positive, and it's clear that a lot of the students they're all very happy to be back on campus like we are. So that's it for me in recreation. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Lindy. And a quick question. Are reservations needed for students to attend some of the facilities or even playing some of the games on the courts?
No, we do not have a reservation system in place. It's been unnecessary for us. So it's come as you are. Right,
perfect. And again, we encourage everyone when you're coming on campus, that daily wellness check, again, to use our facilities and our departments and buildings. So wonderful. Well, moving from our Student Recreation Center, closely next door is our athletics department. So we'll go to Wes Millette.
Hey, thank you, Genesis, and thank you, team. It's good to be here, and it's really good to be back on campus and see everybody back. I'm happy to, report a number of things to you and update you on a few things, but I want to spend just a few minutes talking with you and updating you on where we are currently with intercollegiate athletics competition and NCAA competition here on campus at UCR. And to Dr. Bender's point, athletics events are a great place, for our students to gather, cheer on and support their fellow student athletes, and really show school spirit here at UCR. And we're off to a great start this year. So just a bit of perspective. Last year, we were able to successfully complete our men's and women's basketball seasons and our spring sports seasons, albeit with no fans in the building due to COVID-19 protocols. This year, we are pleased to announce that we have successfully returned to our outdoor fall sports, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's cross country, and indoor sports for fall, women's volleyball, with fans successfully, with everyone following protocol, which I'll get to in just a moment. The environment is exciting. The energy level is outstanding. It's contagious. And it's a reminder of what we can do when we follow the rules and we do things the way we need to make it happen. So we're over the moon right now about the energy level. And you'll see it if you've been there. Women's volleyball is home tonight against Hawaii in the SRC. This fall, we were able to get underway in mid-August with both men's and women's soccer, again, men's and women's cross country and volleyball. The COVID protocols that everybody's following right now are strictly aligned or greatly aligned with our campus events and gatherings policy, which can be found on the events and gatherings portion on the website. So for us, for all home events that's in the SRC right now, and the reason I say right now is because one thing that we've learned in athletics is as we move through COVID, because we're still in this pandemic, we like to say that although America may be done with the pandemic's not done with America yet. So as we kind of move through this, we're adhering to all of these protocols to make sure, we're aligned. So everything that I'm about to say is subject to change based on where we are, week to week with COVID and how we're adapting to the Department of Health, UCR, as well as, other guidelines that we have to adhere to. So right now, for all home events in athletics in the SRC, we're going to 50% capacity We are requiring everyone have a mask on. Mask or face coverings must be worn by all individuals in the building. Spectators and others attending have to complete, for spectators, the visitor daily wellness survey, and for staff, student athletes, and others, just our regular campus daily wellness survey. That completion and confirmation must be shown on everybody's phone when they arrive. Our lines outside to get in, we're managing those effectively. So there's a QR code on one of the A-frames outside each one of our venues, whether it's soccer or the SRC. So folks have to do the daily wellness check, show proof that they're symptom-free and that they've completed the check before they enter either soccer or the SRC. We're asking and making sure that they're adhering to all staff requests. And no outside food is permitted right now as we work, on concessions and what that will look like as we move through with our partners in dining. Right now, no outside food is permitted, water and sports drinks only. For outdoor events are going to 100% capacity. In our soccer stadium, that means plus or minus 900 people. It's outdoors. We've been averaging about 500 per game, per match so far this fall. Again, same protocol. Spectators and others attending must complete the visitor's daily wellness survey before entry. They must show that they're symptom-free and adherence to all COVID-19 protocols, masking, social distancing accordingly, et cetera. And the same thing, no outside food is permitted, water and sports drinks only. So one thing, when attending one of our events, just know, as we move toward men's and women's basketball season, in the SRC, as of right now, will be at 50% capacity max. We will be working to determine the number of students and the number of outside fans, paid ticket patrons who will come in. We'll have more updates for you on that later, but we want to make sure that the students and our folks on campus are aware, so we have the balance in terms of being able to get to the maximum number of people we can have in there so everyone can have access and enjoy. Please continue to visit gohighlanders.com for all updates on our 17 sports and our social media channels as well. And finally, I want to point out that all schedules for our home events are found at gohighlanders.com as well. So if you want to know what the schedules are, just go to Go Highlanders or check out our socials. And the official announcement and ticketing packages for our 21-22 men's and women's basketball seasons will be announced in the next week. So stand by for that. And that's going to be important because, again, with COVID protocol and the expectation and the excitement around both teams this year and the trajectory they're on, we want to make sure our students have access to games and know how to get in, how to follow the protocols, and how to stay closely aligned with the events and gatherings policy. So that's all I've got. And again, it's good to see everybody back. We're back to live sports with fans in the buildings, and it's spectacular. So we look forward to seeing everybody, and Go Highlanders.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Wes. And again, we cheer on our Highlanders. We're excited to move forward with our athletic games. Just, I think, an important information for some of our incoming students. What is the fee for students to enter or participate and watch a game? I think that's a really good answer. I know we have for that.
So the fee, great question. Students are free. Students are free for all of our athletic events. And for the fall is a thank you to our fans who stood by over the last year and a half, and last year not being able to see fall sports. We've made fall sports free for the public, with the exception of last weekend's cross-country meet, which is their fundraiser. So fall sports are free for everyone this year, and sports are free for all students. And then ticket prices will be announced for the general public as we move into next week and the week after.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Great information. And before we move on to our international students, I just want to reiterate and remind everyone that's watching today, please continue to visit campusreturn.ucr.edu for the latest updates. Again, just like Wes mentioned, some of our event gathering policies and other safety protocols. Students, parents, faculty, and staff can visit campusreturn.ucr.edu for that latest information. And again, daily wellness check in order to participate and come onto campus. So now I'm going to turn it over to Michael, who has a brief update in regards to our international students.
Thank you, Genesis. I'm really excited. The good news is that our international students have returned. Some are still in the process of returning, but we do have international students on campus this term, which is exciting. We have been spending, the Office of International Students and Scholars has been spending the past week and a half providing a variety of orientation sessions for our international students to help them prepare for their studies at UCR, to help them know what they have to do in order to maintain their student visa status, and also to feel comfortable living in Riverside and in the United States in general. I think that the smooth transition to bringing our students here is due to the really hard work of all the members of the Student Services Working Group, but I particularly want to acknowledge Student Health Services, the COVID-19 management team, and housing for their close collaboration with us to make sure that when our students come, that they have a safe and positive experience here. So thanks to all. We had about 560 international students show up to our opening ceremony last week. But that's not really the true number, because some students were still in the air, some students were having visa delays, and some students were having difficulties arranging flights. So we anticipate that for the next few weeks, international students will continue coming in. And of our new international students, that includes the new students as well as transfer students and reciprocity students. The good news for our students is that International Affairs, which is the main office where international students and scholars is housed, is open and ready for business. We're located in Sky Hall, room 321. So if you want to stop by, we're there and able to assist you. But we will also continue to assist you with Zoom appointments, phone appointments, and email, whichever you prefer, so that you can reach us and contact us in many different ways. We're having a technical glitch with our main telephone. Unfortunately, we can't get it to ring, but we're working on getting that fixed. What will happen is if you call our main number, you will be bumped to voicemail. Please, please leave a voicemail message, because that voicemail message will then be forwarded to our general international students email account, and we will get it and someone will respond to it. But our main office telephone number is 951-827-4113. And if you want to contact us by email, it's international students, written as one word, at ucr.edu. So thank you very much for giving me this moment to talk, Genesis, and welcome international students. We're happy to have you here. And if you see an international student walking around, please go up and tell them how happy you are to have them be part of the UCR family.
Thank you so much, Michael. And yes, great point. We are just so excited and elated to welcome all of our students from down the street to across the countries to be out here and part of our Highlander family. So thank you so much. And again, I just want to reiterate that we will provide the contact information, links, and other additional information that we've been sharing from our panelists today on this recording later as well. So again, please be sure, don't worry, we're going to provide all of that contact information. So I know we've started receiving a few questions here, but I do want to go to the next slide if we could. And again, this is something that we've just been reiterating quite a bit today in our Student Support Services Working Group. So again, this daily wellness check. So again, we are asking that all students, employees, which includes our staff and faculty, complete the daily wellness check, especially when you will be on campus or a lease space here. So again, this is very critical and imperative that everyone do this. The survey does ask about vaccination status, positive test results, symptoms, possible exposure to someone known, or even traveling outside of your normal commuting area. Please note that students and employees who receive positive test results and experience COVID-19-like symptoms, or possibly exposed to someone known to have COVID-19 symptoms, should still fill out the survey to report such instances, even if not on campus. So again, we'd rather know, even if you're not coming to campus that day, but have possibly been exposed to someone, I think it's still imperative that you submit this daily wellness check. Again, if you do not fill any of those, apply, or you actually won't be on campus, again, there's no need to fill that out. This is just, again, physical presence on campus, daily wellness check should be completed. And just as Bob and others have mentioned as well, students living on campus are required to complete it every day. And those students living off campus are required to fill it out every time again that you come onto our campus or a UCR property. Now, I know there's been some questions in the Q&A here as well. Again, how are we going to enforce this? How do we make sure that students who come onto campus have completed the daily wellness check, or even those for staff and faculty? And these are all great questions. So again, at this moment, for us, the daily wellness check is kind of the initial step to ensure safety and well-being for all of our students, staff, and faculty coming onto campus. Now, there may be those times or days where a student, maybe a staff member, may forget to do the daily wellness check or do it a little bit later after the fact that they've already been on campus. Again, if it's an hour, 2 hours later or something, we still encourage you to submit that daily wellness check. So again, come to your office, find the library space, still participate and take in that survey. Again, even if you are on campus, but you forgot it maybe prior to class. Now, faculty in your classes may also remind you and again, encourage you that while you're in class, you know, maybe they'll allow you pull out the laptop, pull out the phone and complete that daily wellness survey while you're there and physically in the space. Keep in mind that we can't, you know, there won't be a full monitoring of everyone that comes onto campus. We are an open community-based campus. So again, we do have visitors, we've got parents, we've got other people coming in and out of campus. So again, we're encouraging all visitors and those that are coming as well to complete that visitor daily wellness check, similar to what Wes was saying too about our athletic games. Our visitors that do come onto campus, we do ask them the same thing to complete this. So again, our first priority is safety, health, and well-being of everyone on campus. So again, if you see others, you know, possibly, you know, if no one's wearing a mask or you need some extra hand sanitizers, feel free to tell a faculty member, feel free to tell a staff member. If this is something that we can, you know, I think discuss or bring up or encourage our other colleagues and peers to wear these things around us, I think that's the best step moving forward. So again, right now, this is our first, I think, initial point when coming onto campus is that daily wellness check. So again, can't reiterate that enough. And then next slide. We also wanted to touch base. I know we had some questions about students with disabilities and the resources that are available. So again, we want to emphasize that if a student who has a disability or chronic health conditions, please contact the Student Disability Resource Center at sdrc.ucr.edu or by email at sdrc@ucr.edu. Again, options are available and this resource center can provide some accommodations. Again, including even campus housing accommodations, classroom or course accommodations, working closely with your faculty in tandem with that as well. So again, keep that in mind that that is available and open to all students at this time. Next slide. Again, we do have some contact information here. Again, I know not everything is listed. I know we sent out some other phone numbers and websites and email addresses. So again, we'll provide all of that in this recording afterwards. So again, if you all need to visit and watch this recording again, that information will be there. But some of the key information that I'd like to point out is vcsa@ucr.edu. That is the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs office and email box. So again, at any time during this quarter or even next quarter, if you have questions or concerns or would like to just have a larger discussion about even safety or health and well-being, please email us at vcsa@ucr.edu. I think some other key information here, we do have international students, as Michael had mentioned. Another key one is basic needs. I know we did not touch too much on basic needs, but basic needs office is available and readily helpful for our students. So again, if you need anything from our pantry or just, you know, other supplies and groceries, please reach out to basic needs at ucr.edu. So again, we'll provide this additional information once more after this recording. And then in speaking with contact information, I know we did receive a question, and this might be for Jose in the financial aid office. I know there's been a little bit of a struggle or challenge sometimes to reach when reaching out to some of our departments and getting a response back. So perhaps maybe Jose or others, if you all can just kind of touch base on some of the response times of what that looks like and how students can best contact you. Maybe it's more of social media, maybe it's email versus the phone. So if, Jose, if you want to kind of tackle that first question.
Thank you, Genesis. I did see that question on there, and this is once again, this is the time where we're the busiest right now. The best way is to just be patient, get on the phone and try to get into our lines. We do have staff answering those lines. The other place is through the HOS, and scheduling an appointment to come and talk to one of our HOS members, and if your case needs to be escalated, it'll be escalated to one of our financial aid counselors. The question did ask about removing a health charges on the student account. I just want to clarify that we actually don't move any charges on the student account. That belongs to Student Business Services. But they also don't remove any charges on the account. It really depends on the process. If you're trying to do a health insurance waiver, then you would need to contact Student Health Services to start that process. And I would recommend that you do that as soon as possible. But going back to our contact information, that is the way to contact us. Unfortunately, we're trying to help over 20,000 students, with limited staff, but we're trying to do the best we can at this point and try to manage those phones and get through the lines down at HOS2 as well. So just be patient with us. We'll try to get to our phone calls and also our emails as fast as we can.
Thank you, Jose. So obviously patience and flexibility are key right now. And again, we know many students are reaching out. So again, we will get to you and just ask for that patience. I was going to go to William Rawl and maybe from Student Health Services. I know your department also gets quite a bit, an influx of student emails and phone calls. Is there a time frame to expect on that as well in regards to a response?
Yeah, great question. Right now we're less than 8 business hours in terms of response time, in terms of emails. So we have the health at studenthealth.ucr.edu email address for folks to reach out regarding appointments or waiver concerns for the U-SHIP or G-SHIP. Our number you can reach us at is 951-827-3031. And then it gives you a list of prompts in which you can reach out to us as well. But we're pretty caught up in terms of answering phone calls same day as well as emails at this point.
Perfect. Thank you so much, William. So again, great information that we're providing here to our students. I think the key takeaway though is that our offices and our departments are here on campus and available to help our students, staff, and faculty in any way possible. And I know, like William and others have said, there are available telehealth appointments as well in case that is needed. So again, just inquire with our departments and that information will be provided again in greater detail, that contact information. But like I said earlier, again, we encourage you all to go to campusreturn.ucr.edu for the latest information, and again, geared specifically to our students, staff, and faculty. So again, continue to visit that site. I know there's some other questions coming in at this time. I did want to give one last opportunity to our panelists if there are any other final thoughts that we'd like to share with this group and all those that are watching online. So I'll look to anyone if there's any other final thoughts as well in regards to student services. Yep,
so
William.
Yeah, so I said the email was health at student health. That's wrong. It's health@ucr.edu. It's health@ucr.edu in terms of reaching us via email. So I misspoke. Sorry about that. I had to fact check myself.
Perfect. So health@ucr.edu. Okay, we'll say that one more time. health@ucr.edu. Perfect. So again, and that's for our student health services. Anyone else from our panelists? Any other final thoughts or anything we'd like to share with those watching? Right. All right, and we'll just see if there's any other last questions here. But again, thank you to everyone for participating today and allowing us to share these updates in regards to student services. I do want to just give a quick brief update in regards to the Highlander Union Building, or the Hub as it's more known as to our students and staff and faculty here on campus, the hub is open and available to our students in campus. So again, feel free to go check in. Again, daily wellness check is required while being on campus. I know there are still room reservations that are required for certain events. Again, we ask that you go to campusreturn.ucr.edu to check on those gathering policies, and again, how you would go about reserving a room or space based on that event and what you all are looking for. So again, if there are no other questions at this time, again, we do appreciate everyone's time. I'd like to give a shout out and a thank you to our staff behind the scenes right now who have assisted us to get this going. We really appreciate your time and effort, and hope that everyone enjoys this webinar. And like I said, if you all have additional questions or concerns that arise after the fact, please reach out, vcsa@ucr.edu. We do encourage everyone to submit those questions there, or unless to your specific department that you're reaching out to. So again, we'd like to say thank you and welcome to all of our students back to campus. And again, our priority is safety, health, and well-being. So again, please practice those protocols. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. So again, we thank you for your time, and have a wonderful rest of the week. And as you begin this quarter, anyone else, our thoughts, final thoughts? I think we all agree, right? Welcome back to campus.
Welcome back. Go Highlanders.
Yes, go Highlanders. And like Wes said, there is a game tonight. So we encourage all of our students. It is free to come by. So please check that out. All right. Thank you, everyone.